Have you ever walked into a room, caught someone's look, and instantly felt judged? Or maybe someone made a careless comment, and you replayed it in your head for the rest of the day, overthinking what you should have said back. These reactions feel automatic, and in a way, they are. But here's the truth. No one teaches us. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Your mind isn't trying to sabotage your peace. It's trying to protect it with outdated tools. Thousands of years ago, being excluded from the group or disrespected could literally mean danger. Our brains were wired to see every rejection, every slight, as a threat to survival. Fast forward to today, and that same wiring gets activated when someone doesn't text you back or gives you a weird tone at work. But here's the thing. You don't need to live like everything is a fire alarm. That surge of heat in your chest? That urge to defend yourself? Those are echoes from an old version of survival mode. You can't stop your brain from sending the signal, but you can stop yourself from sprinting every time the bell rings. And that's where your freedom begins. Not in fighting the emotion, but in understanding it and choosing differently. Mental clarity isn't about becoming numb. It's about knowing the storm is real and deciding to stay calm anyway. Here's a shift that can change your entire emotional life. Most things that feel personal aren't. That coworker who seemed distant, maybe they had a fight at home. The friend who didn't reply, maybe they're overwhelmed. The stranger who rolled their eyes, maybe they weren't even looking at you. But what do? We fill in the blanks with stories where we're the villain's target, when in reality we were just standing in the background of their own chaos. You see, everyone is walking around with invisible weight. Worries about money, relationships falling apart, health scares, childhood wounds that never really healed, and yet we take their moods, their silence, their tones, as proof that we did something wrong. We turn someone else's storm into our own thunder. But when you start reminding yourself, this is not my energy to carry, things get lighter. You begin to notice how often you're absorbing pain that was never yours. And that shift? That's emotional freedom. So next time someone's acting cold, short, or irritated, pause. Don't match their energy. Guard yours. It's not about being passive. It's about being wise with what you allow into your space. And hey, if this message is making something click for you, maybe it's time to do something different. Hit that subscribe button, not just for this channel, but as a quiet promise to yourself. You're done carrying what doesn't belong to you. And if you're really feeling it, comment this below. Not my weight. Let's see how many of us are choosing peace today. We've all heard about minimalism when it comes to stuff, clearing out your closet, decluttering your home. But what if you decluttered your emotional reactions the same way? Imagine how peaceful your day would feel if you stopped reacting to everything. What if every passive-aggressive comment didn't require a comeback? What if every moment of rudeness wasn't an invitation to war? That's called emotional simplicity, and it's one of the most underrated powers you can develop. Because here's the truth. Every time you overreact, every time you snap back, every time you let something small ruin your mood, you're spending emotional energy like loose change. Little by little, it adds up. And by the end of the day, you're broke. Not financially, but mentally, spiritually, energetically. Keeping your peace doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've decided your inner world matters more than winning a pointless argument. Some things don't deserve your energy, not because they're not real, but because you're more real when you stay grounded. So try it. Let someone be wrong about you. Let that rude comment float away. Let that driver cut you off and stay unfazed. The more you practice, the less you'll even notice these things. Your default setting becomes stillness. And that stillness? That's where you meet yourself. Not the reactive version, but the clear, powerful one beneath the noise. There's a special kind of strength that no one claps for. It's not loud. It doesn't make a scene. It's the kind of strength you build when you choose not to argue, not to react, not to carry things that don't belong to you. It's quiet, but it changes your life. Think of the people you admire most. Odds are they don't explode when someone disrespects them. They don't panic under pressure. They don't chase drama. Why? Because they've trained themselves to respond, not react, to stay in control. not for others, but for themselves. Mental toughness isn't about pretending you don't feel anything. It's about knowing that you do and still choosing peace anyway. That kind of calm isn't passive, it's active. You earn it by letting go of things you once clung to. You build it by refusing to argue with your own overthinking mind. You protect it by walking away from chaos without needing to explain. And here's the part most people miss. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to take a breath. You're allowed to move on without drama. You don't need permission to protect your peace. So if this message stirred something in you, share your story. Drop a comment and tell us. What moment in your life made you realize you were done being triggered by everything? What helped you start choosing calm? This isn't just a video. It's a space for people who are ready to stop performing for the chaos around them and start living with intention. Remember, the world doesn't need another person who reacts to everything. It needs more people who protect their peace like it's sacred, because it is.